I didn't say live, don't I?
Live.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. It's your main boys, Caleb and Paul.
What's
Yes,
going
we
on,
are
guys?
together.
That's right.
Hello.
That's right.
And we got an awesome episode. We got all DC, all night, and to help us out, we got an unbelievable panel here. Caleb, why don't you introduce our panel today?
Absolutely, guys. And I also want to real quick say that we do have a special guest coming in at 9 o'clock, so stay tuned in for that. Adam Gertler from DC Movie News for DC fans. If you guys should be checking that out on the Popcorn Talk Network, it's awesome. So he will be joining us. But for now, I got other panelists with me. They're awesome. So coming in hot, we got Mr. Chris. Chris, what's going on, brother?
Guys, Chris from Greenbelt, Maryland. I'm so glad to just join you guys for another podcast. Is my fellow nerds, and this is an interesting subject to talk about. It's like something I'm really wanting to pick my brain. I'm really wanted to talk about.
Nice. And then next up, he's coming back. I had him on before. Jack, what's going on, brother?
Not much. I'm excited I can finally rant about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's gonna come up, guys. Because real quick, I want to say how we're gonna do the show. We're gonna give our list, and then I want to go into, and then I also have a list, and so does Paul, of our top 5 worst, like DC films. I'm not sure if you guys have a list of worst, but I do, and Paul does. And then I want to give some predictions as to what's gonna happen and to how we feel about the movies coming up.
So we're doing a list of the 5 worst DC movies.
If you want to, I mean, I have one, and so does Paul. If you guys can make a list real quick, it's really not hard. You know, there's a lot of shitty DC movies, so
A lot.
Let's start with the worst.
Mostly a film from 1997.
there's a.
Let's start with the one that.
Found his way on my list.
All right, so then next we have also joining
And
us.
we can't forget Catwoman.
Yes, that's on my list. Is Jason? What's going on, Jason?
Nothing much. I watched Steel just for this conversation today.
Really? That's a terrible friggin' movie. Shaq, what are you doing? Anyway,
Yes.
next up, he's back again. Hopefully he's more comfortable than last time. We got John. John, what's going on, brother?
Hey, not a big fan of the DC movies we had so far, but I'm looking forward to the new slate, and I still have a list, so
Good.
that's good.
Cool. And last but certainly not least, he wants to go on a rant of DC movies, and we'll see. It is Mr. Max Vincent. Max, what is going on, man?
You know, when I joined the Nerds Unite podcast for the Marvel, I was really excited to talk about Marvel because I love Marvel movies. But I hate DC movies. I
Wow.
really hate DC movies.
Do you have a
I just
list,
came here to
Max?
watch you guys.
Do you have a list?
Tell me that you have a list.
I don't have a list for best, but I certainly have a list for worst.
That's fine. That's
Wait,
fine.
we're doing one for best.
Is there any that you like, though?
We're doing
Any that I
one for
like,
best too.
my all-time
Max, you
favorite is
always put
DC
some animated
movie.
films in your best.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. My all-time favorite Batman movie is The Dark Knight Rises, and my all-time favorite Superman movie is Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut.
Oh, great
good,
movie.
good,
yes.
good choice, good choice. All right.
Good movie.
Wait, so we're doing a list.
Richard Lester cut.
No.
Wait,
Richard
doing
Donner
a
just
cut
kidding, I'm
is
just
the
kidding,
best
I'm just
version. Okay.
Wait,
Anyways, later on, before I leave, I'm going to give a 10-minute rant on DC movies, everything wrong with it. Stay
fine.
tuned for that.
I suppose it's a good thing you and Max aren't in the same room together. You would probably go batshit crazy on him considering how much you love DC.
No,
Like Cisco
they had a lot
Levy.
of shitty movies, though. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, dude, come on. Supergirl, Green Lantern.
Oh,
Supergirl.
Come on.
Don't forget about Steel.
Superman Returns.
Steel.
Yeah, so, I mean, they've had a lot of shitty movies, dude, so I can't argue with that. I mean, it's just
So
how
are
it
we doing a list for best movies also?
Yes.
Yes.
That's like the main topic.
It's not
But-
what I mean.
Why is
I
it
will refrain from that.
So it's the 5 best and the 5 worst?
Right. Yeah,
10
correct.
best and 5
Yeah,
worst.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
10 best,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
I might have to do the other way around, 5 best and 10 worst. Because
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
All right, so I guess we'll get right into this. Chris?
Hold on a minute. Do
Oh,
you
okay,
want to go to that?
That's right. So,
I'll be right back. I gotta go get my phone so I can write my list down.
all right, man, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, guys. Before we start these countdown, I did want to take a minute to bring up a couple of people that we did some famous people that we did lose this past week. The first one, of course, Stuart Scott, longtime anchor with ESPN, passed away Sunday at the age of 49 after a long battle with cancer. 21 years with ESPN. He was a very popular anchor, beloved by a lot of sports stakeholders. Definitely going to be missed for anyone who's a big sports fan. Second one is Christine Cavanaugh. You may not know her name, but you definitely know her voice, for she was the voice of many of the great shows that we grew up watching as kids. She was the voice of Chucky from Rugrats, a Babe from the movie Babe. She was the voice of Dexter in Dexter's Laboratory, and Gosling from Darkwing Duck. Passed away December 22nd at the age of 51. We didn't find out about it until like last week, but yeah, lost the voice of our child, and she'll definitely be missed too. She may be gone, but her voice will never be silenced.
Absolutely, yeah, guys. So we just want to put it out there. Those were our two things. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge sports fan. Losing Stuart Scott was a huge loss for us. So we just want to pay tribute real quick to them. So moving on, I think we're gonna start with Chris. Chris, I'd like to hear your top 10.
Top 10
DC movies,
okay.
in your opinion.
Okay, top 10 DC movies. Oh my goodness, this was a very hard list. Oh my, I gotta tell you that much. All right, number 10.
All right. So Superman 4 is on your best list, Chris.
Oh,
Batman and Robin's on
You
your
know
best
me that well. You really know me.
Batman and Robin.
I think it's number one on another list.
All right, I would number 10, Justice League: The New Frontier. It's an animated film from.
Good movie.
Great movie, dude.
Wait, we can put animated on the list?
Yes.
yeah. Oh.
They do not make enough good live-action films, so I think many of us
That's right.
put animated films on here too.
That's fine. Yeah, dude, because there's a lot more misses than there's hits. Okay, so you have to include animation.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, go ahead, bud. Yeah.
Yeah, Justice League: New Frontier is based on the Darwin Cook comic book, and it really stands out for me. From a lot of the DC animated films, it's a lot more serious in many ways. I like how they captured the period of the 50s in ways. I think the voice casting is just awesome. I like how Kyle MacLachlan lets his vocals into the Superman character. Of course, there's Jeremy Sisto. There's a Batman like that. You know, and I also like David Boreanaz's portrayal of Hal Jordan and Green Lantern. This kind of struck me as a Green Lantern origin story more so than it is a Justice League story, because most of the bulk of the story is mostly based on him. But yeah, this is an animated film that really doesn't get a lot of notice, and it really has a lot of mature things into it, and it really has a lot of heart into it. Like I said, this one is one that should be looked at more often than that.
Not to mention, I believe Lucy Lawless provided the voice of Wonder Woman. It's like, if anyone can pull off a live-action Wonder Woman, it's Xena, Warrior Princess.
Exactly. Absolutely. Okay, number 9, V for Vendetta.
Good choice.
Oh. Actually, no, I can't say that. I've never seen it.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
My bad.
Is it really DC Comics or more like Vertigo Comics?
It's more like
because
Vertigo.
Yeah, no, because like Constantine and like V for Vendetta are still DC Comics. They're
I mean, Vertigo is a DC imprint, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fine, Chris. Yeah.
I mean, but yeah,
V for Vendetta, man, great movie.
Absolutely wonderful movie. Very underrated. I mean, yes, I know. It's a well done political thriller. It's just like, I love the casting of Hugo Weaving as V and Natalie Portman as Evie Hammond. I just love how. It's just a wonderful movie. Like I said, yes, not looked upon all things as should, and like I like how it it's like it's like an allegory of oppression by government. It has these very Orwellian themes of control and surveillance.
Oh my god. Jesus
Okay.
Christ, stop.
What's going on right now?
Oh, hello,
I wanted to say that myself.
This is Jack. It happens, guys. You know, everyone has animals. All right. So number 8.
Yeah, number 8. Number 8. Okay, this is going to get a lot of controversy, but I'm standing by it. Man of Steel.
Okay, on my list. Higher on my list, Chris.
Not on my list.
Higher on my list, brother. So
No.
don't worry, man. It's not controversial at all. I agree
It's
with
on
you.
my list.
Mm-hmm.
Man of Steel is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. I like that. I like it. I love. Like I said, I love the start to this DC cinematic universe. Let's hope it continues. I'll get into that a little bit later. I love the casting of Henry Cavill as the dual role of Superman and Clark Kent. Many people thought he was a little bit wooden, but I think he just brought out. He just portrayed and embodied the Superman character perfectly. My pick would be Christopher Reeve. That's the best Superman out there.
Yes.
It's definitely it has a lot more action and a lot more. And a lot more going for. It does have it does have a lot more action than a lot of the previous Superman films.
Yeah.
I do like the serious, grittier tone of this movie. Many people, and one particular quip I would have about this movie is that it doesn't have a lot of humor in it. But it just seemed a little too.
Brother, no jokes, man. No jokes in
DC would do no jokes, pal.
Come on, you had to have a little fun. All right, Chris. Number 7.
Overall, great.
One thing I hate about DC, no jokes.
No jokes, Max. That's
No
right.
jokes.
It's all coming up.
Oh, boy.
It's like walk, you learn small things, and then it's all building up.
All right, Chris.
Everything
Number
wrong.
7.
Calm down. Calm down.
All right. Number 7, The Dark Knight Rises. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Mike. Oh,
It's a great conclusion to the trilogy. Like I said, it's not.
hey, Michael.
Hey, just wanted to make a cameo. Drop by.
Like,
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Mike. What's up? All right. So, Dark Knight Rises. It was fine.
fine. It's the best Batman movie.
Oh, you stop that.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes,
It was
is.
not the best Batman movie, but yeah, it's like it's
No, I hated The Dark Knight. I have a confession to make.
What?
I hated The Dark Knight.
What?
What?
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
You said what?
I hated The Dark Knight.
Why so serious, Max? Come on.
I'm like Derek Dukes Muir who hates
Just
Guardians
smile.
of the Galaxy.
All right,
Anyways.
Tough to hate.
Yeah,
He hates
number
Iron Man
7.
3.
The Dark Knight Rises definitely. It's like not the best out of the trilogy. Not the best out of the trilogy, but yeah, I think it's more ambitious and epic in scale than its predecessors. And Christian Bale, I think his best performance as the character. He's really as Bruce Wayne, kind of like weaker and more vulnerable in this time than he was in the previous films. And then, of course, Tom Hardy's Bane. You can't really capture the epicness of what Heath Ledger did with the Joker, but he is equally as menacing with a very physical, intense, and brooding performance. I like how this closes out in operatic fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Dark Knight Rises is number 7, one of the best DC films.
I actually really like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Everything was perfect in The Dark Knight Rises.
She looked
Dark
good.
Knight, a lot of things were wrong.
I will say
All
this
right.
about
All
Dark
right.
Knight.
So number 6, Max.
Huh?
Chris. I'm all talking. See, Max got me all confused now.
Yeah, number 6, Batman Returns.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah, not as good as the
Okay.
original. It's kind of a little bit more nastier than the first film was. But I do like the overall tone of the film. It's just it's really dark and moody.
Oh, it's going to be a lot
Moodier
darker.
film. It kind of reminds me of a Christmas Carol in so many ways, And, how.
It is one of the best Christmas movies ever made, obviously, because it has Batman in
It doesn't
it.
really count as a Christmas movie. Yes, it's set around Christmas, but it doesn't really.
Come on.
Listen, I call Die Hard a Christmas movie, so we can call Batman Returns.
Die Hard is not a. It's set
Well,
around
no,
Christmas,
wait,
but it's not a
wait.
Christmas movie. It's not a.
Iron Man 3 is a
They mentioned Christmas multiple
Batman
times.
Returns for a
Yes,
Lego
they do.
film.
Not to mention it takes place on Christmas Eve. They're having a Christmas party.
Ho,
It's
ho,
a
ho.
Christmas movie.
I have a machine gun, brother.
Come on, machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Come on. It's a
Right.
Christmas movie, too.
Oh dear God!
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about Batman Returns. Yeah, it does
Okay.
have a bit of. I mean, it's just, like I said, it feels a little bit more mean-spirited than the predecessors did. Like I said, I like to compliment Keaton's control of Batman. I like the set design. Of course, Michelle Pfeiffer, best Catwoman ever. She's second to Anne Hathaway, and that role, the feistiness of it. Oh. And Danny DeVito's portrayal of the Penguin.
Is terrifying.
The reason that
Yes,
Batman
he's scary. He's absolutely
He's genuinely terrifying.
Danny
Also, I
DeVito
don't
is
like.
comical.
To
Is
be
like
honest with you guys, I don't like Christopher Walken as Max Shrek.
Well-
I don't.
Well, like if you think about it, once 89 Batman was a hit, then the city was like, "All right, Tim Burton, you do whatever the heck you want, brother." And then he was
Tim
like,
Burton is pretty dark.
he was like, let's just go dark as hell.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. I mean,
It's a great movie, dude. Parents were like, "Ah, it's too dark. Shut up."
It was gonna be darker though.
Yeah, it's just all right, Chris. So
yeah,
number
they
5.
shut down McDonald's shut down their Happy Meal promotion for the movie, if I recall.
Yes, they did.
Number 5 would have to be Superman 2.
Good movie. The Donner cut.
It's hard to
Like
choose.
the Lester cut more?
No, come on.
I mean, I
Donner
think-
Cut is the
I don't know. I think the Donner cut is a little bit more consistent. Somewhat. I do like the Richard Donner cut. Don't get me wrong. I
like both cuts.
Mhm.
no. The Lester Cut is too goofy and too humorous.
It is too goofy. It's a little bit campy. It's more campier. I mean,
I have a confession to make. I haven't seen any original Superman movie.
Oh,
Superman 1 or 2. They're on my list. They're on my list. I'll get to them.
you can skip 3 of them. Watch number 2, and then you're good.
Watch the
Hold
first.
on.
I've
to
seen
the
Superman
confession
4.
show.
That's my
Skip the
favorite Superman
third, fourth,
movie of all time. I'm kidding, of course.
Superman Returns.
Oh, Superman Returns, yeah.
but yeah, Superman 2. I love I love, of course, Christopher Reeve. He gives it his all as the Man of Steel and Clark Kent. I think it's full of great effects, and it's just of course, like one of the best. Of course, you got to give it to Terrence stamp as one of the best movie villains in history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Chris. So number 4, bud.
Number four for me would have to be the original Batman.
89 Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. Cool. I mean, it might be on my list. I don't know.
It
I know
might.
exactly where it's going to be on your list, and I think most people here do who know you. They know it's going to be on your list.
I love this movie, Chris. So anything you say, man. I mean, this movie to me is awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah,
And Michael Keaton, man, just Michael Keaton.
Best Batman ever.
That's right.
One of the best Batmans ever. Yes, and
The best, brother.
The best.
The best.
Jack Nicholson's performance of the Joker is just like, I love the design of this movie. It's so evocative of Metropolis and other movies from the past, and of course Jack Nicholson, man, just is like,
yeah.
the brilliance of him as his casting as the Joker. It's just like they could do no wrong with him doing that. Just like,
And he, it's not just he had a lot of fun. He was also, legitimately menacing. Not as menacing not as menacing as Heath Ledger, but still pretty damn menacing.
Jack
And
Nicholson.
menacing also
Jack
has a lot
No,
of
he's
fun.
pretty-
Romero were the best Jokers.
Nicholson was
Jack Nicholson was really good as the Joker.
Nicholson was pretty creepy. In that film.
Yeah.
He just basically, and Tim Burton just basically brought Batman out of the dumps after the campy TV series of the '60s.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, it's just amazing. So number 3, Chris.
Number three would have to be Batman Begins. You know.
What was that? Batman and Robin?
Batman Begins. Don't play with me.
I like Dark Knight. I like Dark Knight Rises better than
Caleb,
Batman
he's gonna start
Begins.
sneezing. Don't give him that. Give him an allergy attack.
Come on, Paulie.
Batman Begins. All right. So go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I know. It's just like this film is just like it's an absolutely amazing film. It doesn't really. I often feel that this film is often in the shadow of both Dark Knight Rises. It's just
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
People don't really pay attention to it. It's just like dark, brooding, gritty. It's just like I just love the real world aspect that Christopher Nolan brings into this movie. Of course, it started a trend with dark, realistic superhero films. You know, that continues on to this day. You know, Christian Bale as Batman. Like I said, excellent. They got a great cast here. You got Rutger Hauer. You got Morgan Freeman, and who else do you got? You got
Tom Wilkinson.
Gary Oldman.
Harry Oldman, man, just like best Jim Gordon ever, man.
Tom Wilkinson up in it.
Michael Caine.
It just feels a little bit more operatic than the Burton films.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So number 2, Chris.
Number 2, Superman, the original 1978 Superman.
Again, haven't seen.
Good boy, Chris. Good job. Good choice, my man.
It's fine. It was very important. I'll say that this film was really important to the films that we have. You know, if it wasn't for this film, then so it really opened the door as taking superheroes seriously.
Yes, absolutely. It's like, man, it's just like. With Richard Donner, Christopher Reeve, man, Mario Puzo, Gene Hackman, Marlon Brando, just like John Williams, they created magic with the movie.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the classic Superman theme.
I'm going to guess, Chris, that I know what your number 1 is, and it's probably a lot of Heel's number 1. I'm going to guess it's
Superman 3.
No way.
Superman 4, the question. No,
Supergirl.
it's
Supergirl.
It's the Dark Knight, right, Chris? Right.
You may be close. I'm just kidding. It's the Dark Knight.
It's the Dark Knight, yeah.
Yes.
It's fantastic. Max, whatever Max says, it's fantastic. It's amazing.
Oh my God! What is there to say?
DC hater style.
Yes, what is there to say about this movie that hasn't already been said, man? Just
Best comic book movie ever?
No.
Probably.
Oh, that's been said.
One of the
Best
best.
Joker ever.
It's very close for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like this one is more richer, more. I mean, it has a more visceral edge than his predecessors did. Of course, Heath Ledger, man, he just. I was 20 years old when this came out, and he scared the hell out of me. That's
Greatest comic book villain of all time.
One of the great movie villains of all time.
Yes, for sure. But
Yes.
comic book movie villain of all time, hands down.
One of the best comic book stories ever.
One of the best comic book stories ever.
Great.
This one transcended the genre in so many ways. It broke barriers and made comic book movies legitimate, man. The comic books today are indebted to this movie.
Also, not to underestimate Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face. He also had a brilliant storyline.
Yes, he did. And
He was terrible in this movie.
Yeah, he was
underutilized.
That was the worst part of the film. Is he should have been set up for the third one.
He was underutilized.
Well, he was killed off in the second one. I hated that.
There are problems with the Dark Knight.
Yeah. All right. Chris,
No
so
movie's
great
perfect,
list.
Max.
So we're gonna move over to Max because Max unfortunately has to go soon. So Max, if you want to talk about some worst, some best, just go because I want you to be able to speak before you have to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak on behalf of Marvel.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
I'm a Marvel fanboy, but I gotta ruin my art for DC too.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I agree. Yeah.
That's right.
Because For me, DC movies does not care 1 inch about the fans.
Okay.
They won't connect their TV shows to their movies. They're doing the Flash TV show and the Flash movie,
which I love.
without any connection to it, with a different actor playing Flash.
Yeah, that I'll admit that upsets me. Like they should just make Grant Gustin the movie Flash too. It's like do both. Let's go.
Yeah.
I really like what Stephen Amell said about that they should have waited.
Wait, are they going to the house?
They should have waited. Like,
Yeah. No, listen, guys. I mean,
Oh, they didn't go without me.
Arrow and the Flash are my 2 favorite TV shows right now, and I wish that they were connected because I think that Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin, they really capture those characters well, and I really wish that they were the movie, but Jeff Johns is like, oh,
Well, Arrow and the Flash has
Good
connected.
multiverse.
Maybe we'll do a multiverse thing.
Like the Flash versus Arrow. That was pretty good.
yeah, no,
Love that team up.
I loved it, man.
But the thing
love
is
it. It
that
was
they
awesome.
won't put Martian Manhunter on the Justice League because people don't know him very much.
Who said that again? That was Zack Snyder, right?
No, I think it was the president of DC. I think it was David Goyer, I believe. I don't remember.
Oh, he's not the president of anything, but he's
The Suicide Squad's casting. Will
Oh,
Smith is in
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, I don't hate Will Smith, but for me, I'm thinking that Jaden Smith is going to be in one of those movies.
Oh,
Thank you.
please, God,
Let me be
no,
kidnapped
please
child
don't.
that I have to
Wait,
rescue.
no, absolutely not. No,
Max,
no.
can I interrupt for a
We've
minute?
lost all respect for Will Smith. If
Wait,
this
Max, can I interrupt for a minute? A quick
Yeah,
minute?
yeah.
I definitely think that's going to happen, and I think Jaden Smith is going to be Shazam, the
Oh,
Billy
you need to
Batson.
stop that. You need to stop
That's
that.
just bullshit,
That
man.
better not happen. That better.
You guys are crazy.
I'll lose my shit if that happens.
I will go.
There's no way Will Smith is doing this movie without doing something for his son.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That would tear me to pieces if he actually put him in the movie. Just it's like that's. Oh. God.
Okay.
So why isn't Jaden Smith in Gotham? Because his mom's in it.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
that.
exactly.
I heard a rumor
You know what?
that gets Flash in
Show
here
up, though.
that
Hold
But
on.
that's different, though.
Okay, Will Smith's
Static
mom
Shock.
is on. Jaden Smith's mom is on Gotham. Jaden Smith's dad is going to be on Suicide Squad. Shut up, dog. Okay.
The dog doesn't agree with you.
Yeah.
I think back on this movie.
DC Comics has made a number of terrible movies. I can't even count them. Green
Yes.
Lantern,
Oh god.
Supergirl, Steel, Shazam. What else? Superman 4, and what is considered as the worst movie of all time, Batman and Robin.
Oh, okay.
I like Batman and Robin.
It's one of the
Who
best
said that?
comedies of all
Who
time.
said that?
One of the best
That's the guy
comedies.
who likes sex tape.
Stop it. It's one of the best comedies of all time.
Howard the Duck is one of the best.
Howard the
Okay,
Duck.
and
Oh.
did I ever...
Great Batman parody movie.
Okay, listen. All
I
right.
mentioned Nuclear Man in Superman 4.
So you don't have to.
Don't ever mention.
Don't mention him
With,
again.
with,
Okay,
with,
listen.
with the nails,
Superman
when
4
he scratched
had a
Superman,
$100
he
budget.
died of
Okay?
a
Literally, the
degenerative
budget was
disease.
like $100.
Yeah,
so
that's why.
they had to figure it out. Okay.
Well, it's because Canon Films was involved. It's because Menahem Golan decided to take the budget of
And-
Superman 4 to
And Christopher Reeve's environmental message.
Yeah.
It just. Oh my. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, Max, do you have any favorites that you want to talk about real quick?
Favorites? I like The Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises is
The
gotta
worst
be my
of the
favorite
trilogy.
movie.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
worst
The
of the.
best of the trilogy.
Matt,
Oh
have,
no! Stop it! No, it's
I
not.
personally love
Matt,
Rises
have
too.
you
It's not even on my
seen,
top 10, dude. Like,
Not
come
on mine either.
No.
Max,
Dark
have
Knight
you
is
seen
extremely
Batman
underwhelming.
Mask of the Phantasm?
Oh, that.
That's a great movie. I thought
Dark
about.
Knight
I need to
is
see
terrible.
that still.
Hold on.
on my
Hold on.
list.
I'm gonna give you points that I hated about The Dark Knight. Maggie Gyllenhaal was awful in this movie.
I
What?
agree.
She was great.
No, she was terrible.
Way better than.
Heath
Katie
Ledger's
Holmes was better.
Joker.
Yeah, Katie Holmes was better.
Katie Holmes was awful. Horrendous.
What about the
Katie
Joker?
Holmes- Okay.
But she's hot.
So, looks aren't everything.
That don't make her a
Yeah.
good actor. You know.
Maggie Gyllenhaal was awful. Aaron Eckhart was terrible.
Jessica Alba's hot, but she sucks.
But, okay,
Yeah, that's
Aaron
true.
Eckhart was good until he became Two-Face.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I would
Two-Face
agree.
was horrible.
The Two-Face storyline was
Rushed.
my worst part of the whole movie. I love the movie, but that part was so like you said, rushed, and it was like, okay, if you wanted to become Two-Face, but then you kill him off in the same movie, what? I hated that about the movie. Yeah.
My favorite part in The Dark Knight is the beginning, the bank heist,
Oh, that was
Great
awesome
scene.
scene. The great opening scene.
and Heath Ledger's performance is very, very, very good.
Yes.
Yes.
Legendary status.
In
Deserve
my
the
opinion, the
Oscar.
best thing
They
DC
won
has
him an
ever
Oscar.
done is the original Batman series with Adam West and Burt Ward.
Really?
Yeah. They haven't done anything good.
That's supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah, it's a great comedy.
Yes, it is.
It's great. Hey, dude, listen. Me and Paul and Max all own the giant Blu-ray box set of the 60 series, guys.
We do.
It's so amazing. It's so good.
I was gonna buy that, but it went out of stock. It's
It
sold
looks
out.
so good. It's so good. Listen, I mean, I
How
love.
could you?
Batman versus the Joker on the
How
surfboard.
could you?
It's good. I mean, listen, I love the 60 show too. So,
The 66 movie's really good too.
and I love the 60s movie. That was amazing
Yes.
too.
I think that might appear
Someday
fine
you
if
can't
we
get rid of
on
bomb.
that best list.
Might appear on someone else's too.
All right. So, all right, Max. So, is that all you is that all you had? So you liked the Dark Knight Rises, and you hate everything else.
Well, Man of Steel was okay.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, this is good. Like we're getting better now.
It's good.
It wasn't good. I really liked it when I
it
first saw
was
it, but then
fine.
I keep just thinking about everything that's wrong with this movie. I keep tearing it to shreds. Superman does not destroy a whole city.
He's right.
That is extremely invalid. And
well,
to be
Michael
fair, that
Michael
was
Shannon was
Superman
horrible.
wasn't
in this
Fair,
song.
he was
Yeah.
against a
This is
general.
origin story for Superman, though. He's learning. Okay, listen, it won't happen again. He learned. Okay, I screwed up, and he won't let it happen again. He was still learning to use his powers and stuff. So it's like, I mean, I don't know.
It wasn't Superman until the very end.
Right? Exactly. Like he
When he became Clark
had to
Kent.
grow into that role. So it's like, I mean, I love that movie. So I thought it was
In my
great.
opinion, the worst thing DC's ever done is not Batman and Robin. Is their stupid no jokes policy.
Oh yeah. I think that's really. I don't think that's
Well,
real.
that's a rumor.
Justice League is going to be extremely depressing.
I hope not, dude.
And Suicide Squad, we're gonna have like suicide attempt. It's gonna be like the most depressing superhero movie ever. And superhero movies are fun. They're not depressing. They're not serious dramas, you know.
I
He's
mean,
right. I mean, that's what they're supposed to be.
Right. I mean, listen.
And I
There's.
see where he's coming from with that.
They're
They
so.
tried that with Superman Returns, and look how that turned out.
Well, that movie was boring as
Superman
shit.
Returns is like the most.
I almost fell asleep watching that.
Superman Returns was like the most boring amalgamation of the
It's
NyQuil you could
so
ever drink.
boring. Oh my god. It's almost as boring as the original Superman. Oh.
You did. Okay, you did. Okay, I'm out.
That's
Fire.
right. Hey,
I'm
listen.
outta here. Okay.
Listen. It's time for some controversy, you guys. I like Man of Steel more than the original Superman.
Yes.
What?
A lot of people do.
Yep.
Not in the minority, man.
I think the original Superman is boring as shit. I fell asleep
No,
watching
it's
it, guys.
not. It
I
is
fell
not.
asleep. I was like,
Yes, it is.
and then you know what? I watched Superman 2 and I was like, this is like 1,000 times better. Like,
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I fell
Superman
asleep
2
during
with Zod is 1,000,000 times better than the original Superman. 1,000,000 times. It's not even close. I'm sorry, but it's not even close. It's just not.
Caleb.
Stop calling me. So yeah, that's my big one. So, all right.
Can I do my word?
I think we're gonna move on. Jack, are you
Yeah,
ready
go ahead
to
and
do your
move on.
list?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my worst. I only have 3 on here.
Okay.
Number 1 was Catwoman.
Oh,
That is a terrible film. I don't know what DC and the writers were thinking because that was not Catwoman.
no. And then like they changed their name. Why?
Yeah.
Why
They
did you change
said, okay, here's everything we know about Catwoman. Let's throw it out the window.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
that-
Wait,
Took the
so
title.
her name has always been
Selena
Selena Kyle. Let's change it to Prescience or what it was. I don't even know what it was called. It was stupid as shit.
The only reason that film is not on my worst list because I've never seen the whole thing.
Yeah, you're lucky, man.
Yeah, I loved that the Razzie Awards that one year when Halle Berry actually won that and accepted it and said, "I want to thank DC for putting me in this terrible movie."
No,
Halle Berry owns it, man.
Halle Berry was not Selena Kyle. It was Patience Phillips.
Yeah, what the hell kind of name is that? Patience Phillips? Seriously?
What the fuck?
Wasn't Sharon Stone in that film?
Yes.
Yeah.
The main villain.
Yeah, she was the villain.
All right, now my number 2, Superman Returns.
Oh.
He didn't do anything for that movie except he lifted stuff. And one of my biggest problems with that movie is he's lifting a giant thing of kryptonite. The one thing that is supposed to kill him if he's has long enough exposure. Then he's able to fly in outer space when it's like a giant mountain rock of it.
Should have killed him.
And they made Lex Luthor the villain again, which I was like, oh god, how can we get something else? That's why I was really happy with Man of Steel when we got Zod instead of Luthor.
Absolutely, dude. So,
He was a deadbeat dad in that movie too.
It was according to the guy who directed it. It was supposed to be like a lot like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and the next one was supposed to be like a lot like Wrath-of-Khan.
Well, it was like Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
And I didn't like any of the drama between. And I didn't like any of the drama between him, Lois, that guy, and the baby.
It was stupid, dude. It was alright. So like your last one, Jeff?
Green Lantern.
Oh,
bad movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't hate it as much as most people, though.
CGI. My thing about Green Lantern is I think Ryan Reynolds was really good in it, but they gave him like a terrible script.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, director's
another great character, Mark Strong as Sinestro.
He was good.
Him.
Dude.
I mean, I didn't like I can't even remember his name, the weird head guy.
Hammer.
Oh, Hector Hammond.
Yeah. And then they have him fight the giant poo cloud. It's like, I guess you guys didn't watch Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer to see how that worked out.
Oh, I made that.
The problem was they're trying to make Green Lantern basically Iron Man.
Oh, so bad. So bad. So.
And this was supposed to set up our DC Cinematic Universe Green Lantern.
Yeah, you shouldn't start with Green Lantern.
And I did think the Green Lantern world was pretty cool. Yeah. But he shouldn't have been fighting a giant poo cloud.
I agree. So.
Maybe
you want
to hear my best?
Yeah, Jack. So run through your best.
All right, I'm gonna do. Can I do 1 to 10?
Yeah.
All right, my number 1 is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Great movie.
Yes.
That was a great movie. I mean, Kevin Conroy is the man.
Yes.
Still need to see it.
Such a great movie. Mark Hamill's the Joker. I mean, and Phantasm was so cool. I like the mystery of it, and I kind of like that you got a history of the Joker a little, which was really cool. My second one is Under the Red Hood.
Love
that's gonna be on my list for sure.
Same here.
It's fantastic.
Because I love the graphic novel.
I haven't seen it.
Story of the Red Hood.
Doesn't Bruce Greenwood play Batman?
Yes, he does a great job of it.
Yeah. So I like that, and I thought it was really cool how they did it, and I like that we finally got to see Jason Todd die.
I had a question.
Like, that was a brutal scene.
Now, I'm not a diehard, DC animation fan, but Batman Under the Red Hood looked kind of interesting. Do you think, for someone that doesn't really love DC,
yes,
or, doesn't really know DC animated films, you think I would like it?
Yes.
It has one of the best scripts ever. I'm saying ever, you guys. It's one of the best written movies I've ever watched in my life.
Same here.
And it has really good action.
Amazing.
Yes.
It's Oh my god, it's so. If you guys haven't seen it, I would definitely check it out. I would definitely check it out.
And I loved how they adapted it. It was really intense watching Joker kill Todd, and then we got Neil Patrick Harris as Nightwing. And I love Nightwing, and he was so great in that role. And we got
a great voice cast.
Yeah, and we had a cool Joker. I like the way they did the Joker when he just kills all the guys in the room like over a bag of potato chips.
John DiMaggio definitely gave a great performance in that role.
For sure.
Yeah. And then my number 3 is Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
Oh, it's not.
I think that one made its way on my list. You might see it there.
Damn it!
That was
good animated movies, man. Damn.
That was a great one, and that is the darkest. I think a lot of people will agree that is the darkest Joker ever.
It's up there,
Close,
man.
yeah.
I mean, that scene
especially animated.
Yes, where he tortures Tim Drake. I thought that was pretty crazy.
No, that wasn't the scene I'm talking about. I'm talking about the scene after when he finds out who Batman is, and he's like, "Oh, you're just a little kid playing dress up for mommy and daddy. I'd laugh if it wasn't so pathetic. I'll laugh anyway." And he starts laughing at him.
Oh gosh.
That was dark. That was
Dark Knight Returns Joker was pretty crazy too.
All right, so number 4, Jeff.
The Dark Knight Rises, which was my favorite of the trilogy.
This is my
You're
least
giving
favorite.
Caleb a heart attack here.
I like Rises.
No, but there is a reason why it's my favorite.
All right, go ahead.
I finally got what I've been wanting from a Batman live-action movie. I wanted Batman to fight someone that was a challenge, like physically and mentally, because besides being like the world's greatest detective, he's strong, he's tough. So I liked him finally being able to like fight with someone who, he actually had a chance of beating him.
And I still think that's one of. This is saying a lot because I still think this is one of Tom Hardy's best performances. Not just like, and it's one of the best villain performances in a comic book movie. I mean, sure, it's not as good as the Joker, but I think it's a lot better than Ra's al Ghul. I mean, it's still Ra's al Ghul is still a good villain, but I remember him and the Joker more, and I remember Bane much more than Ra's al Ghul. He's menacing and like his motives, his backstory. I just think it's a perfect comic book villain.
And I love that.
Great comic book villain.
And I love that we got Talia.
Yeah, that was also really good.
Yeah, I mean, like that review was kind of like that review is.
We all knew it.
We all knew she was in the movie.
Everyone saw that coming. Come on.
But still, good to see it happen.
Ever.
And I loved Alfred in that movie. Alfred in the entire trilogy was great. He's my favorite Alfred.
Amazing.
Great actor.
Yeah, he's my favorite Alfred.
Michael Caine is amazing.
And I loved Alfred when he's like, "I failed you."
Oh.
And I love the
Emotional.
ending.
You know what I hated though? I hated when he was like, Bruce, one day I want to go to where like Paris or France, and I want to look over and I want to see you. And then the end of the movie, I'm like, oh my god, they really went there. Like, come on.
I like that ending.
I love that ending.
It was cool, but it's like, come on. Like,
I really liked.
Batman's not gonna really retire.
Yeah. And I really liked Anne Hathaway. I was very surprised because I remember hearing she was cast, and I'm like, oh my god, they're getting the girl from the Princess Diaries. I'm like, this is gonna be terrible. And then I was like so surprised. She was great.
Yeah.
And then I liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character.
Oh yeah, I thought he was really.
And I loved at the end when they kind of gave him like the Nightwing, not the Nightwing, the Robin name, which I thought was a cool.
Yeah.
And I liked all the trilogy. They always make references to a lot of the other villains that they haven't shown, like
Except
when Gordon. Like when
I
Gordon.
wish instead of calling him Robin, they would call him Richard or something like that, or Jason.
Like when Joseph Gordon-Levitt asked Commissioner Gordon if he saw any giant alligators in the sewer, referencing Killer Croc.
Oh. Yeah, you know what? That's like the one thing that I hated about the Nolan trilogy. You wouldn't get anything that was like out there, like you wouldn't get like a Killer Croc, or you wouldn't get something that wasn't grounded and gritty. It's like, okay, like we get it, but I would love to see like a Mr. Freeze actually done right.
Clayface.
Yeah.
Clayface. Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah. And then Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. I mean, that movie's kind of hard to watch because of how dark and scary the Joker is. Like when he just burns that guy on top of the money.
Yeah.
It's like something just want to watch the world burn. And even in like a scene where you think he's gonna be funny and he's wearing the dress and he blows up the hospital.
Yes, I mean, dude.
That's
Listen, Heath Ledger's performance in this movie is like I said, it's legendary.
Yes, it is.
I mean, my God.
And
Like-
what really upsets me is people say, "Oh, he only got the Oscar because he passed away." BS. He
No, he wasn't gonna get it anyway.
He deserved it.
He was the
Yeah.
best performance.
And then I really like Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent when he's like, the White Knight, and then he pretends to be Batman. But
Yeah.
I liked how he was as Two-Face, but I didn't like that they killed him. Like, I thought that was, like, bad. It's like, now I'm Two-Face, now I'm going to fall off a building and die.
Absolutely. All right. Real quick, Jack. I want to let everyone know that Adam is here. Adam, thank you for joining us, man. We really
What's up,
appreciate
guys?
you
Hear me?
coming in and hanging out with us. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah, I was just doing another thing with the guys in Schmoville. I was just like answering questions, and time got away from me. I apologize.
Oh, no, man, don't even worry about it, dude. Yeah, we've been counting down our best. Jack's giving his list. Right, Jack. So why don't you keep going, Jack?
Okay, next is Batman Begins. I mean, that really took Batman into the next era. They got it dark, and they had one of my favorite villains, Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul.
Yes, I mean,
I wasn't a huge fan of the twist, but I thought it worked in the Nolan universe because they weren't going to do like the Immortal Lazarus pit thing. So like it works. It works that way.
that was never gonna happen in that universe.
Which is kind of.
I mean, dude, like when I first saw Batman Begins, Jack, I hated it. I don't know why, but then I watched it a couple years later. I was like, okay, it's getting better. And then I watched it like last year, and I loved it. So it's one of those movies that has grown on me, man, over the years. I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's not as good as Dark Knight to me, but it's very, very close. So.
And then there's the animated Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
Which was really good. Which I think if they made that into a movie, live action, but you get a better actress, I think that would be really cool. Next is the Justice League Crisis on Two Earths.
Great movie.
Great movie, dude.
Awesome movie.
Awesome movie.
I don't know if you know, but that was originally going to happen in between Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
It was I think it was originally going to be like in that universe, so they changed a couple of things. But I thought that was really cool. I liked Justice League Doom because they
Awesome movie.
It's a good movie.
because they focused on Batman and his plan and how paranoid he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like why can't DC take what they do in the animated universe? They have so many good animated movies. My God.
I think half my list is animated.
Yeah, and it's like
And
and
then
then live action. Like God, come
our
on.
next one is Justice League War,
Oh,
That was a good
which
one.
I was a little worried about because I'm not a huge fan of the New 52, but that was one of the stories I really liked.
yeah. Okay.
It was a cool movie, and I like when you got Batman and Green Lantern doesn't know like he's just a guy with like costume, and I like it when he's like, "Who's Bruce Wayne?" and the parademons just come up and swoop him up. That was cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Adam, do you want me to read off the ones that you missed?
What's that I missed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead real
sure.
quick.
My number one was Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Fantastic.
That was
movie.
your number one all-time DC film?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Number two was Under the Red Hood.
Oh,
Number three was Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
That
nice.
was also really good.
Number four was The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, easy now.
Number did I say 4 or
I had
5?
problems with that film, Jack. I'm sorry. Just
Next was The Dark Knight, and then Batman Begins.
Nice. All right, guys, real quick, I want to give it over to John because he's gonna have to go quick. So, John, did you want to go over your?
Hey guys, I'm gonna get going. It was fun learning a little bit more about DC, but thanks for having me on for a little.
All right, Mike. Yeah.
Chummy,
Bye.
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 All right, so John, man. All right, are you gonna go best, worst?
Yeah, I've got a few worst, but
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it positive, so most of them are best.
It's hard. Listen. There has been a lot more misses than there has hits in the live action world, at least with that DC.
I like the
I love
comic books
DC,
a
but
lot better.
come on now. All right,
Alright, so I've got actually 7 best.
Okay, cool. Okay.
That's what I put together. Okay, at number 7, I actually have the 1960s Batman movie with Adam West.
No!
It's a good movie.
How have you seen this movie?
I love the campiness.
It's so
And
good.
actually, the first thing was when I watched Family Guy and Adam West is in that show, and I'm like, Adam West. And then when I got into like comic books and Batman and stuff, I'm like, Adam West. Oh, I see what they're doing there. So then that's what
there
I
you go,
went to.
John.
Yeah.
Speaking of Family Guy and Adam West, I've actually met Adam West, and I asked him, are we ever going to see on Family Guy him wearing a Batman outfit?
That better happen someday.
That would be
And he
awesome.
said probably not, but I wanted to.
Nice.
Number 6 is
I mean,
the
I don't know
original.
if he wanted to, I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us. Yeah, John, go ahead.
Yeah. I got the original Superman movie at number 6.
Good movie.
Okay, the first 20 or so minutes, it was even half hour, I thought was really boring. Like all his origin story.
No.
But after that, I thought it picked up and it was incredible.
Okay.
I just thought the first half hour was a little slow. So
I can agree with that. So, I mean, if you fast forward, like the first half an hour, then then it starts picking up because
Yeah.
All right. So number 5.
Yeah, number 5 is Tim Burton's Batman, 1989. Jack Nicholson's performance as the Joker was really good. I thought he got the more campy version. Well, not campy. Campy's wrong. It's the wrong word. It's the more lighter version of the Joker. He has his dark moments, but it's kind of like what you see in some of the comic books. Not like Death of the Family, but some of the more lighter Batman comic books, where he's still evil and has a dark side, but he has a lot of what he thinks is comical.
Right. He's kind of he's trying to strike that balance between like a Cesar Romero and then like Heath Ledger. You know, he's kind of mixed there. Like he wants to be dark and serious, but he wants to also kind of like joke around and be kind of campy.
Yeah.
I loved his
And I think
performance.
he had it perfectly.
I think he was amazing. I mean, like they paid him a lot of money, so he had to perform, and he was great. So, all right, so number 4, John.
Yep, number 4, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut.
Oh, so good.
I mean, that was really good. I mean, I loved the villains. I think they did a lot better than Man of Steel, which I'll get to. And just overall, I thought it was better than the first movie. I think they improved on a lot of stuff.
Easily better than the first one.
All right, top 3. They're gonna be the Dark Knight movies, but I'm just gonna keep that there while I say that. Number 3, I've got The Dark Knight Rises. I saw this movie in IMAX, and when I saw it, it was my favorite. On repeat viewings, it's still fantastic. I love it, but it's got its flaws, and I don't think it's as better as the other 2. Number 2, when I first saw this movie, I hated it, and then I saw it again, I thought it was good, and I saw it again, and I loved it, and it's Batman Begins.
I just said that, see? That's how it is, dude. I mean,
it took 3 times for me.
Yes.
But then since then, every time I've seen it, I love it. I think Ra's al Ghul or Liam Neeson was played him perfectly. When I read the comic books now, all I can picture is Liam Neeson. I mean, he is Ra's al Ghul, in my opinion. Oh, you got the guy with the funny mustache. They tried to give Liam Neeson the mustache, but it's just, but great movie. And number 1, Heath Ledger, he added to this movie. A lot of people say The Dark Knight was good because of Heath Ledger. I think it was a great movie, and Heath Ledger added onto it. And it is, it's just, I like Aaron Eckhart and Maggie Gyllenhaal.
The ending was kind of like, okay, the Two-Face storyline where they killed him off, I was kind of like, I don't like that, but that's the only thing.
I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder if Christopher Nolan. I wonder if he always knew that it was going to take place 8 years later, or if he thought, maybe. Because if he always knew, he would have had to have
come out and said if Heath Ledger hadn't passed away that he was going to be the main villain for Dark Knight Rises. I'm pretty sure he has said that, but I don't know. So.
It would have been
he was going to come back after Dark Knight.
Yeah. So all right.
I think he would have had a cameo in Arkham. He would have had a cameo.
Yeah.
All
right. So let's get. All right. So let me get your worst, John.
Okay, I've got 2 movies I want to talk about.
Okay.
One of them is Batman and Robin. A couple of years ago, I had a friend who liked this movie, legitimately, not for a comedy, but he actually thought
one of the best comedies of all time, actually.
No, but he liked it. He actually thought it was a good movie.
Oh, okay, easy now.
That was this movie. Oh my gosh, I get angry when I watch this movie because it is so dumb. It is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Dude, it has the best one-liners, okay, ever. Come on.
One-liners are not funny, not all the time.
Hey, do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The ice.
Get to the chopper.
Come on.
Lame.
So good.
Everything freezes. Oh
my god. Listen, it's not a good. It's a guilty pleasure, you guys. Okay, I think it's hilarious.
No pleasure.
I take no pleasure in this film. Absolutely.
I need alcohol to watch it.
Listen, I am a Batman apologist. Every Batman film, I just well, this is okay, right? No, it sucks. I mean, it really does. Oh well, I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
All right, so
yeah, I might cause some controversy here, but I really didn't like Man of Steel.
Oh boy,
I can understand that.
What?
It was my most anticipated. It was my most anticipated movie 2013. I was counting down the days to see it, and I saw it, and I was just like, I didn't like it. I wanted to like it.
What was about it, Man of Steel, that you just didn't like, John? What was it about it that you just hated?
The action bored the living shit out of me.
Wow.
I was I'm checking my phone, and I'm like, what time is it? Oh, there's still 20 minutes left. Hurry up. Have something happen.
What? What?
Wait, I gotta say.
I actually take back that, there is that. Okay. Today's youth, they don't even know anything, apparently.
Wait, can I say something about the action, though?
Yeah.
Can I say something about? I really like that fight. I think that's one of my favorite fights in a comic book movie was Zod versus Superman. I mean, they're smashing through skyscrapers, and then Zod grabs Superman's capes. And now that I think about it, I think of The Incredibles.
Hey.
No capes.
Let's just remember, he leveled the city. Millions of people probably died, but he saved those 3 people at the end of the movie from getting, fried. Let's remember that. He saved those 3 people.
Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Come on now.
Well,
if 3 people got saved, yeah, but millions of people probably died. I'm sorry, I want those millions of people saved.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying, that's what happened.
I have one more thing to say.
Yep.
I don't know who it was who said that. Okay. So technically there was no humor in the movie, but they tried to put humor in the movie. 2 jokes. One, Amy Adams goes, "What if I have to tinkle?" When she was in the ice. Funny. That's just. And then,
are you saying that you have to tinkle, John? All right, that's cool.
I'm saying that was one of the stupidest parts. Oh, and the part at the end where the woman, she's like, the guy's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I just think he's hot."
Okay, that I laughed at. That was funny.
That was
funny because it's stupid.
Now, I want to ask you something about that. A lot of people think that she is Green Lantern's love interest. Because doesn't she have that name on her thing?
Who?
Yeah, there's a similarity. Yeah, it's the same last name, I think.
Oh, jeez. Listen, Green Lantern shouldn't even exist. That movie's freaking awful.
Oh, it's being rebooted.
Oh yeah,
right,
Green.
In 2020, so everybody could forget about how horrible it was.
They were like,
The only reason.
We need like a decade to forget how horrible this movie is.
We need Jon Stewart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes. Yes.
Best
I
Green
agree
Lantern.
100%.
Yes, bring in John Stewart.
Absolutely.
Totally,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying John Smith, Guy Gardner, buddy cop film. That's what I want to see.
Yes. Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's a good one.
It'll always be,
That's actually a good idea.
I'm so tired of Hal Jordan. Listen, he's in every animated
it'll always
film.
be Hal Jordan.
No, he wasn't in Justice League
No,
cartoons.
but he's been in every single, like, First Flight. That was him. Emerald Knights. That was him. Okay, I'm Hal Jordan.
He is the most well-known Green Lantern of them all. I
No,
mean,
man, John Stewart.
DC, the thing DC will probably do, they'll put Kyle Rayner in and they treat him just like Hal Jordan, because that's what some people think, like, Kyle Rayner is kind of like Hal Jordan, and that's the problem, in my opinion.
Okay.
We need
I'd
Jon
like-
Stewart or Guy Gardner, or both.
John
I like Jon Stewart. I really liked him during the Justice League cartoon. That's where I really
Absolutely, dude.
learned more about Green Lantern was during that show.
Dude, Idris Elba as John Stewart. Who's in? Come on now, Idris
That was
Elba.
great.
He would be great, but except he's Heimdall.
I heard his
Who
character
gives a
might
shit
change.
about
Maybe a
Heimdall?
little
And he's a
old.
little. I think he's too old.
Yeah,
I think he's
a
too
little
old.
for the future of these films.
What about the guy who played Martin Luther King in Samuel?
Oh,
For
you mean John? Oh, I'm gonna ruin his last name. Olawale? I don't know.
yeah, that guy. What about him for House?
Wait. How about Chiwetel Ejiofor?
You mean Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Ejiofor.
Yeah, you mean the
Good choice.
operator from Serenity?
Yeah, that's the guy.
No, I don't know. I haven't really seen him enough to
Can we
say.
just get a
Guys,
good Green Lantern movie? Is that too much to ask? I mean,
It shouldn't
can
be.
we just get a good one
He was
where, like,
great. He was awesome. Wasn't he in the Serenity film, or at least one of the?
Yeah.
The operative in Serenity.
mm-hmm. No,
Guys, I gotta go.
all right, John.
Hey,
Have a good night,
Alright, it
brother.
was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
it was good,
See
man.
ya.
No,
See ya.
I just, like, I don't care really who plays Green. I just want a good Green Lantern movie where he's not fighting
agree.
a giant yellow cloud of dust. I mean, are we serious with that? I mean, come
That
on,
was
man.
an abomination, actually.
It was
Making
fucking
Carlos a
horrible.
guardian.
And he had the CGI mask on his face. Are we serious with that? Like, no, it was freaking horrible. I
They
hate
should
that.
have made it more like Green Lantern's First Flight.
That was a good movie, man. I loved that.
Yeah.
Because like that was kind of like Adam's idea, where it was kind of like him and Sinestro like going around and like him
It
showing
was
him the ropes.
that was basically Training Day in space.
It was awesome, dude.
Adam, I have a question for you.
What's that?
They haven't, with the Green Lantern movie not coming out till 2020. Do you think there's not going to be a Green Lantern in the Justice League movies?
I heard there might be.
No, he's in.
I have a feeling that he's going to be in the second part of it. I have a feeling that's, because we know it's a two-part film. I feel like the first part's going to end with the Justice League definitely getting their ass kicked, and I can kind of feel like intergalactic support's going to show up.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be this other thing that we don't know about, and I think that would be a great time to introduce it. Would be like later in that film, like you just see some flash of green light, and then you see like the Green Lantern Corps show up as like the cavalry, and that would be pretty awesome.
I heard a rumor like a while back in 2014 that the Green Lantern in the DC Cinematic Universe might be female.
Oh, stop that.
Oh God! I've never heard that. But I am so sick of all the Batman. I am so sick of all the Batman versus Superman rumors.
Oh.
We're gonna get.
No, it's just the rumor for the DC Cinematic Universe.
No, I'm sick of all the Batman Superman rumors. We're gonna get Doomsday. We're gonna get Metallo. We're gonna get all these people.
We just need the movie to come out and be great. Like,
Yeah.
I hope it is. Like, I need this movie to be great.
I'm worried. I don't like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Oh.
It sounds like those Doomsday rumors might be true, though. I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Well, it looks good.
It might be
at
a
least
little. It might be a little bit too early to introduce Doomsday into the scheme of things. Save him for like Justice League Part 2 or something like that.
No, but I
wouldn't
think
wait-
you
I would
could.
wait on Doomsday because that's a really big villain to introduce so early.
Save like the final Justice League film.
I think
No,
the first Justice League man has to have Darkseid as the main villain.
I don't want Lex Luthor actually.
No, dude, you need to have Darkseid.
Now, do you think they'll do Darkseid? Because I think a lot of people.
They have to do Darkseid. Come on.
No, but here's my question: do you think they'll do Darkseid? Because I think a lot of people will think they're copying Marvel with Thanos.
Thanos, yeah.
They still haven't done Thanos yet.
Well, no, because okay, who is the big bad of the DC universe?
Darkseid.
And
So
Brainiac.
I just think that you have to do Darkseid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the fault that he's almost exactly exactly like Thanos. But I mean, you have to do Darkseid. If you're DC and you're like, no, we're not gonna do that. What? No, you have to do Darkseid.
I heard for Justice League Part 1 they want to do Brainiac.
Oh,
No.
that's yeah.
Brainiac actually works.
I don't like that.
Yeah, Brainiac has not been introduced in any like live action incarnation yet.
I mean,
I don't like Brainiac as the villain for the Justice League because Superman can beat him on his own.
And then I heard for Part 2 they want to do Darkseid.
they need to do Darkseid. It has to happen. So,
What do you guys think of the Gal Gadot casting?
I fucking hated it, but it's fine.
I'm just gonna.
I think
I'm
so.
just
Adam,
gonna.
you're the big DC guy. What do you think about it?
What's that, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Gal Gadot casting.
My thing is like I'm also trying to be optimistic and just thinking that if they made such an unknown, such a major character, there has to be a damn good reason why they did it. You know, the fact that she's fairly unknown is not a big deal. Christopher Reeve was unknown when he was cast as Superman.
Yeah.
You know, I just got to think that they know what they're doing. You know, I mean, that's it. There's no reason to be poo-pooing it now, and I can't spend the next 2 years like in misery, like waiting for that to happen. Like I just got to believe that there was a good choice. It seems like an odd choice, but she's hot. I mean,
Yeah. I'm in misery over it. I don't mind that she's not well known. It's what she's been in. She hasn't really been in anything.
Yeah, she's been
She's
been like in several few Fast and Furious movies. That's what we all only know her from, you know.
And that doesn't take much acting experience to be a hot chick in the Fast and the Furious movies.
No, she kicked butt in the movies, though.
And it's the biggest female superhero.
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Like on the planet. And that's who you get, someone we've never heard of who's only been in Fast and the Furious movies, which takes little to no acting.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're thinking. I really do.
I mean, you know, again, Christopher Reeve, unknown actor, you know, just hadn't even done like a lot of movies when he was cast as Superman, and they backed it up by putting him opposite Gene Hackman, who really grounded that film with like gravitas. And you know, he's great. Like Christopher Reeve is iconic, and because you have nothing else to take into it, when you see him as Superman, there's no baggage. You're not like, oh, there's the guy that played this. It's just like I've never seen that person before. And I think that's why it's so weird that they cast Affleck, because Henry Cavill too, he had done a bunch of stuff. He was about to pop, but he had, you know, you weren't really taking baggage in like with Affleck. Man, he's done so many movies, including Daredevil.
The early rumor I heard was that
I like Daredevil.
What might happen was that
I like Daredevil too.
I think Warner Bros. And DC wanted Affleck to like write and possibly direct Justice League, so Affleck might have said, "Okay, well I'll do it, but I want to be Batman."
I think you're wrong. I think they want him. I think he's going to direct the first standalone Batman movie.
Yeah.
Or he wanted like to direct something. Yeah,
probably.
Well, he's taller than Cavill, so they hired him for that reason too. And he's older.
After Argo, man, you know what? I mean, like,
he's the tallest, biggest Batman we've ever had.
They wanted Batman to tower over Superman.
I mean, guys, have you seen those pictures? He looks fucking jacked. I mean, he looks.
He looked jacked during Gone Girl.
He looks like he could.
I'm saying like his regular pictures, like walking up the street.
Looks like he could whoop some ass in this.
Yes, he looks like he's gonna like throw down hardcore, and I'm like, yes.
Adam, what did you think about the casting of Ben Affleck as Batman?
I think he's gonna do really well at it. I think I was pretty on board. Like I said, the only thing that is just like he hasn't, you know, he's done so much, but I think he's got the physical presence. I think he looks the part. I love the fact that they're going with a slightly older Batman. I think Zack Snyder does a great job directing that kind of action. Like I think I saw a lot of what I wanted Batman to look like on film in Watchmen, with like some of the Rorschach scenes. So like the opening scene, like I was like, this is what Batman action should look like. And then when you get in Chris Terrio the guy that won an Academy Award for screenwriting, to write the freaking script. I mean, a lot of my problems with Man of Steel, it was like it wasn't a great script.
Yeah, glad they tossed the Goyer out. I mean, because like, I mean, his script is one of the weaker aspects of Man of Steel.
And he's gone. He's not a part of the new regime. I think he's like kind of out of it now.
Yeah.
Done. So.
And my opinion about Ben Affleck changed. At first, I was like, this is a terrible choice. But then I thought about it, and I listened to some people's arguments, and I'm like, this is good. But there was two people that I wanted that never got it. Carl Urban was one. I thought he would have been a good Batman.
He was awesome as Dredd, man. So.
Yeah, and then I don't remember the actor's name, but he's the guy in Person of Interest. Have you guys have seen that show? Any of you?
Nope.
I think Henry Cavill, or no, I mean Jim Cavill, or what's his name?
Yeah, Jim Cavill. He played Jesus in Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
I thought he would have. He
He'll
could
always
be
be
a
Jesus
good
to me.
Batman.
Absolutely.
Before Affleck was cast, when they were talking about a 47-year-old Batman, the person I wanted as Batman was Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Yeah, he was almost Batman.
Yeah.
But,
I want Nightwing.
He's too old though.
Nightwing.
I want Nightwing in the cinematic universe.
Yes.
I want Nightwing.
Instead of Robin, I would love to have.
How about
Nightwing.
another Robin besides Dick Grayson? Let's get like Tim Drake or.
Here's what I would love.
Gary Killer?
Yeah.
No, here's what I would love.
Or Jason Todd.
No, because then. Yeah, how does that work?
I don't know.
You know what I would love though? Is if you had Nightwing as Dick Grayson as Nightwing, you have Tim Drake as Robin, and in the Batcave you show a ruined Jason Todd in the case costume.
There you go.
I don't know.
Then in the future, if you want, you could do the Red Hood stuff, but if not, you could just say to the fans, yeah, we know this is Jason Todd's costume. Look at that. It's our Easter egg. All the friends will be like, yay.
It wasn't Dark Knight Returns.
No.
They could make a live-action movie as good as like Under the Red Hood and like that whole storyline. Oh my God,
Sign me
that
up.
would be like, oh my God, that movie is so amazing. So
What do you think, guys, of Will Smith as Deadshot in Suicide Squad?
it's decent.
We'll see what happens.
Will Smith is a good
Johnny Clooney casting.
actor.
That was the worst. Yeah,
Let's just hope he doesn't have like too much control over it, because we know how Will Smith is. I mean, and plus his profile
which is,
kind of weakened in recent years.
at least he's not writing the story, and he's not. And
I hope he doesn't put his son anywhere.
I mean,
near
listen,
I
his
was
son's
about
gonna
to
be in
say-
somewhere.
it. Adam, I want to get your opinion on this. I
was thinking that Will Smith's kids, Willow and Jaden, could be Jan and Zaymot, the Wonder Twins.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
No, Adam, I think Jaden Smith is going to be Shazam. He's going to be Billy Batson.
maybe Jaden's going to play Shadow Shot.
What do you think about that?
I would love, seeing like a black Billy Batson then turn into like a Chinese Shazam. That would be really fun.
I mean, we've already got a black Deadshot, which I don't like. That's one of my big problems. Is I'm sick of with all these comic book movies them changing the races. That bothers me a lot. Just stick with what's
disagree.
in the
I don't
comics.
think there's anything about Deadshot that he's got to be white. Like, I don't think that there's anything about the character that's intrinsic to.
I also am not a huge fan of Will Smith, so I didn't like him being in the movie.
I'm not always a fan of his, but if he's in a good movie, he could be great. And it's been a long time since I've liked him in something, so I'm really hopeful. I don't know what he was doing in After Earth, like.
Oh my God, so good.
You're in that raspberry. That's
terrible too.
I never even saw that because it was
I
M. Night.
blame that film on Will Smith.
You did not miss anything, Adam. Don't worry. That film was god awful.
I never saw it. I don't like M. Night. I'm still mad about Avatar.
No, like it was just so bad, and it's not even Will Smith as an actor. It's his attitude. He's just so freaking arrogant. Like he thinks like, well, I'm in the movie. It's gonna be great. No, it's gonna suck ass because you wanted to put your son in everything. The last good movie that I actually liked him in, I don't know, Pursuit of Happiness. Was that like 07? I
don't think I saw that. I liked him in iRobot. I think that was the last one.
The last movie I liked Will Smith in was Men in Black 3.
Yeah, I mean, like that film was decent, but I'm saying like the last time that he like blew me away was a long time ago. So, but no, all right.
Yeah, like Ali.
Adam, what do you think about everybody thinking there's too many people in Batman versus Superman? There's so many characters.
Well, I think it could go one of a couple of ways. You know, like obviously there can be a lot of characters in a movie, and it'd be good as long as it's you're focusing on the main characters and the main story. If it feels like we're just introducing this person and then introducing someone else, like I don't want it to feel like a Hunger Games movie where like when it ends, it's like it doesn't feel like a satisfying movie. It just feels like a ridiculous cliffhanger. Like as long as there's a satisfying movie in there, and then we're meeting these other people, then I think they can pull it off. I mean, they are trying to build a big universe here, so there's a lot that they have to do, and I think it's probably going to be like another 2 hour and 45-minute movie, so there's a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I also agree that I like a long movie, and I thought Man of Steel felt long, and that's not because it was long, it's because it wasn't, there were things that went on too long in that movie. There's a lot of movies that are 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I'm like, it ended too soon. You know, like, even like a film like There Will Be Blood. That movie's like almost 3 hours, and I'm like captivated every instant.
Do you think we're going to get Kryptonite?
Yes.
We might
have to.
It's kind of in Man of Steel.
No,
there wasn't.
No.
Well, when he went in the spaceship, the air.
No, there
when he got
wasn't.
sick.
They said it was a different atmosphere that affected him, but...
By the way, for Man of Steel, I feel like that Brainiac could probably come from like that ship or some of that Kryptonian technology. I feel like that, where like the Brainiac, although that starts to feel very much like an Ultron kind of thing as well. But I feel like they're gonna go with that because he's got to be a Kryptonian intelligence.
Are we gonna get Supergirl?
No.
On
Yes.
TV.
On CBS.
No, but in the movies, Adam, because they show that one pot is open and on the prequel.
Well, there is a
that it was
comic
Kara.
about
Oh, you're going into theories here, brother. I don't know.
Wait.
Adam,
I said
yeah,
No,
Adam,
because in the prequel comic they said it's Kara.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Adam, I wanted to get your thoughts on what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg cast as Lex Luthor. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I like that casting actually. Because I like that he's got a complete physical opposite from Henry Cavill. He comes off as like super arrogant, really smart. I mean, you saw him play Mark Zuckerberg, and I think that's a good, that's the modern day billionaire. That's what the modern day Lex Luthor would be. So it makes total sense. He should not be a guy that puts on a green exosuit and goes toe-to-toe with Superman. I hope that doesn't happen.
No,
but
Oh my God,
that would be cool.
Adam,
Being behind the Suicide Squad, being behind, the Doomsday Project in some way, like with the
pulling the strings,
the public space of being like, look, we need to protect our planet, but really he's just like a selfish, self-motivated, evil bastard.
Yeah.
Right.
Adam, I disagree. I want him to be in his power suit.
Oh, really?
That would be.
Yeah, I want him to fight Superman.
I absolutely want him to be in the power suit. Absolutely.
Because I'm sick of Lex Luthor, standing
like
behind the scenes doing everything. Because there's no real threat of Lex Luthor. But there's a bigger threat if you put him in the power suit.
Yeah.
Well, he's a physical threat.
just
The whole thing is Superman is like a physical presence. So it's like if then you make Lex Luthor the same kind of thing, then I feel like it's just you take away what makes Lex Luthor a great villain, which is that his brain is supposed to be greater than Superman's. That one is brawn and one is the brain. So if you put him in an exosuit, then it's like, all right. Plus, we're gonna see another exosuit, in Batman v Superman. We're gonna see Batman in his suit. So it's like, how many times are you gonna keep putting people in suits to fight Superman?
Right.
Adam,
Do you think we're going to see Robin or any of the Bat family in the future? Maybe in Batman vs. Superman?
Yeah, I still think there's a chance that you might see Carrie Kelly or Barbara Gordon as Jenna Malone's character.
What do you think about them having Carrie Kelly?
I think it would be cool. I mean, they already said that they liked Dark Knight as a big influence for the story. I think people know enough to know that you could refer to Dick Grayson or Jason Todd, and I do like that idea of having like a past, Robin that was killed, and maybe you do a combination where like Robin is more a character that is Oracle, kind of combining those characters and having it be more the mission control for Batman, not necessarily someone jumping along next to him, but kind of like the same way like Iron Man has got Jarvis.
No, I'd rather see Oracle in that role.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I just really like Carrie Kelly too. I also like Tim Drake.
I don't want Carrie Kelly. She's the worst Robin.
I don't want her.
She wasn't really even canon until recently. Tim Drake.
I didn't even realize they really made her canon.
They did. But not as Robin. Not as Robin.
But she's been make a good story about her in origin
story. In the New 52, she is canon.
Okay. What did she do?
She was Damien's tutor. And now she's taking care of their dog. Bruce's dog.
That's another clue that they could go Carrie Kelly, because I feel like they're doing a lot of things in New 52 to plant seeds for what you're going to see in the films.
I'm not a huge fan of New 52.
I'm not either. I like some stuff. I love the whole Court of Owls stuff. That was great, and I think that would make a great Batman movie too.
I'm waiting for Convergence so we can see Nightwing, the real Nightwing, and Babs get married.
Yeah.
Adam, what are your thoughts on Leto as a Joker?
Very positive on it. I think he's a really good actor. I think he looks physically like the Joker. I'm really interested to see what kind of take they do with it, because I agree with everyone that, like, Heath Ledger's performance was so out of the box, so incredible. I don't, like a lot of people, I don't think that he's going to be on the Suicide Squad. I think he's going to be used kind of like in an Assault on Arkham.
Yeah, that's what I would like. And I wonder about him and Harley. Like, how long has Joker been around? How long's Harley been around? That's what I'm interested to see.
Because I think Harley's going to be a major player in the film, and it's going to be interesting to see how all the fans are going to be like, oh, they're together. But I hope we don't see that right out the gate. Like, I hope you kind of realize that there is a relationship there, and maybe, again, by the end of the movie, Harley is like, she secretly is just breaking him out. And I also wouldn't be surprised if there's like an Affleck cameo in the end of Suicide Squad somewhere, or a post-credit Affleck in Suicide Squad.
I think there will be if they're putting the Joker in there.
Gotta be, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I think it's so cool that we're getting Harley Quinn on the big screen. And she was a character that was created for a TV show, and now she's going to be on the big screen. She wasn't even from the comics. I think that's just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of said the same thing, though, but you didn't like it when referring to Carrie Kelly. But it's the same kind of thing where it's a popular character. And the fact that you're telling me Carrie Kelly's in the canon, that really makes me suspect that you're going to see a female Robin, which I know is probably going to piss off a lot of fans, but it's also more roles for females, which is what people want. There are a lot of people that want.
Well, then give her Batgirl. Give her Oracle. Make an Oracle. Make a Batgirl.
Instead of Batgirl, because I don't want there to be another character that's Bat something in this movie universe. Yeah. I think you can make a Robin very much like a Black Widow character, like the way they did the action with the Black Widow. I think is great, and I mean that's just my opinion. I think that could be really cool.
Do you want
I'd rather see, put it this way, I'd rather see a grown-up female be Robin than like a 12-year-old.
Agree. Yes. 100% agree.
Hey, I'd rather see a 12-year-old Robin than a grown-up female. I don't want a female Robin.
Okay.
Do you want Nightwing? You want Nightwing?
I love Nightwing. I feel like we're definitely getting Nightwing on the Titans show, so I don't think we're going to get Nightwing in the movie for a long time. I know that they are double casting some things like Flash, but I don't think you're going to see Arrow for a while in the movies, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of keep Nightwing, because Nightwing is your chance to kind of do a Batman-like character on TV, because they're not going to touch Batman on TV. So I feel like the closest you're going to get to someone like jumping off the rooftops and living on that legacy is going to be Dick Grayson on the Titans TNT show.
Now, they haven't confirmed, but they said there's a good chanceability that might be in the same universe as the Arrow and Flash.
I have heard that too, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know how all that works because I thought they were all owned by.
Because that would be awesome.
I mean,
It might be, but I think it's because it's all Warner Brothers. And I think CBS and I don't know about TNT.
Well, that's
but
Turner.
I think
That's Ted Turner. You know,
So-
so that's TNT, TBS,
TCM.
But they've mentioned Bloodhaven a couple of times on Arrow.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah, sure.
You watch Arrow?
I do. I like Arrow.
yeah, it's
Arrow is my favorite show on television.
great show.
And I'm
I also happen to like Constantine a lot. I'm very much in the same Constantine camp.
Yeah.
You like Gotham?
I like it. Some episodes are better than others. I really like the Bullock character. I like what they're doing with Bullock. I feel like it's a lot of Catgirl and a little bit too much Bruce Wayne. I do like Alfred though a lot. And I really
Alfred, I didn't.
I'm not
Alfred,
a big
I didn't
fan
like
of
it
Alfred.
at first. Alfred, I didn't like at first, but I got to like him more when the episode when he
Well,
teamed
that's
up
just
with
because
Bullock.
it's an Alfred we're not used to seeing a whole lot. Like this
Yeah.
Alfred, this is the first time he's ever been shown like a live action adaptation, I believe. Until then, he's been restricted to the comic. But this Alfred is like as tough as nails, ex-British Secret Serviceman. He's never
And I
been.
liked it when he gave Bruce the watch to beat up Thomas Elliot. And that's another thing I like about Gotham is we're getting a lot of characters from the comics.
yeah. The pilot was too much of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much Easter eggs all over the place.
And I think a lot of people need to think that Gotham is like an Elseworlds thing, like Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell everyone that all the time. No one listens.
You liking the Flash?
I am liking the Flash a lot, actually. I even like the Flash probably a little bit more than Arrow right now. I think just because I like seeing superpowers. I like seeing the actual Flash. He's called the Flash. I liked how they waited a couple of episodes, then gave him his name. I feel like it's moving at a good pace and it's giving good reveals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
I just think the Flash guys
finale
had the worst and like the best mid-season finale. Like the Reverse Flash stuff was amazing, blew my mind. But then they had this stupid holiday crap that I didn't care about. I was like, can we just get more Reverse Flash? I just
Has everybody seen the mid-season finale for the Flash?
It's fantastic.
I have.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely.
Yes.
So we can talk spoilers about it?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I've already seen it, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
True.
Wait, I've seen it. Wait.
Well, there's people online that might have not seen it.
Yeah.
Then they can just skip ahead.
I mean, all right. I really don't want to get into like a Flash discussion, but all right.
I like my favorite character on that show is Dr. Wells.
I want to get back to list, if that's cool with everybody. So,
Okay.
so
Adam, I'll have to message you later so we can talk about Flash spoilers. I
Okay.
guess.
all right. Jason, do you have a list?
Yeah, I'll start from 1 to 10.
Okay.
My number one favorite DC film is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. It's like a film that I really love and stuff in it. Has a really good it's the first time I really remember seeing how Batman, pre-Batman Bruce Wayne was getting in shape to be Batman, because you see a lot of that stuff in flashbacks.
Mhm.
And Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
you got most of the cast from the animated series back, and you got the girl who will be Lois Lane in the animated series as, spoilers, the Phantasm.
Danny Delaney.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just such a really good film, and I really smile every time I watch it. It's such a
Did
great
you
film.
see it in the theaters?
No, it came out the year I was born, though.
Oh, it was really cool to get to see that in the theaters because it was really just so out there that they were putting out an animated Batman movie in the theater. It felt like such a bonus. It was really
weird.
cool.
I don't think I saw it in the
No,
theaters
that
either.
was great. It really didn't make much money, but it's well, it's an animated movie in the theaters. I
Yeah.
mean, Die-Hard fans are gonna see it.
My number 2 on my list is The Dark Knight.
Good movie. I mean,
that was my first Batman. I think that was my second Batman film I saw in theaters, and it was the most memorable theater experience I can remember. Such a great film. The Joker, I remember him creeping me out. He's up there with Hannibal Lecter with great movie villains. My number 3 would be Batman 1989. I just really love that film. It's like Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman. I don't know why I just can't get over Christian Bale's throat cancer Batman voice. So, like, I always prefer, whenever I think of who's the better live action Batman, I go to Michael Keaton, because I thought Christian Bale was trying a little bit too hard as Batman, and Michael Keaton just hit the right notes for being Batman, and he did a really good job as Bruce Wayne. And I liked Jack Nicholson's Joker, not as much as Heath Ledger's, but I like it. I mean, for the first like Joker that wasn't from the '66 show, I mean, he did a really good job. And then like all the set designs, I mean, it felt like Batman just jumped right off the comic books and onto like the screen. My number four is gonna be Superman the movie, which is a really like great film. Like without that, we wouldn't have the Batman films. We wouldn't have Blade. We wouldn't have like basically any comic book film. We wouldn't have like we have a lot to thank Superman the movie for, because it basically showed us what a comic book movie can be, and it helped. And I think even nowadays, as Superman v Batman: Dawn of Justice, I think they have to thank Superman the movie for where they are today. My number 5 is Superman 2, both versions, because I can't decide which one I like more, so I decided both. I mean, General Zod is a really like great villain, and Terrence Stamp does a really good job of playing him. He's able to do the serious stuff and like in the light stuff, because there is some comedy he does in parts of it too, but like he does a really awesome job. And like with him and Christopher Reeve, I mean, like the cast in those two Superman movies are just fantastic, and it's just like every time I watch them, those films, they give me such great smiles because they're really fun to watch. And my number 7 is going to be Batman Begins, which, like, it's a good movie. It's just, like, not as good as The Dark Knight. And it was, like, my first Batman movie, and I thought it was really good because it was the first time I saw a dark Batman on the big screen. Because up until then, all I was watching was the '66 Batman on TV. So it was, and I thought Christopher Nolan was a good job, even though at the time I didn't know that was Christopher Nolan. I just thought it was a superhero. My number 8 is going to be The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, it was awesome to see Bane finally being done proper on the big screen, and at least it was a really like great film. And I went to see it opening night, and just everybody was ecstatic, and I think that had something to do with the film. And I thought it was a really great way to close out a trilogy, and it just like hit on so many notes, and I felt try to do so many things, and it accomplished a lot of what they did. Yeah. And I have 2 more. My number 9 is going to be an animated film, Batman Under the Red Hood. It's a really good film, and every time when I first saw it, I thought it was the best. It basically went in competition with Batman Mask of the Phantasm with best Batman animated film. And my number 10 will be Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox. I thought it was gonna be it's a really good film. It was nice to see the Flash to stand out in an animated movie for once instead of always being about Batman or Superman. Like we get another character that's not them. To be like a Flash movie and have Reverse Flash and show the consequences of Flash trying to save his mother and see what the future turns out to be. It was just really cool, and to see Thomas Wayne as Batman was also really cool.
Cool. All right, so unfortunately, Adam's gonna have to leave us soon. He has other things going on, but he says he has a list that he wants to read off. So Adam, the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, I have. I promised someone I would make them dinner tonight, so.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
And this person actually has some really cool movie screeners. They're on that cool list, so I'm gonna get to see something that's in the theaters.
I understand.
Okay. So, I kept it all to live action. I know some people did animated. That's cool. It's funny. I had a lot of similarities with Jason's list. So number 10 for me is Swamp Thing. Wes Craven. Not a great looking movie, but a pretty cool horror action movie at the same time. Had that been done with like a budget today, that could be pretty cool. Although I think if they do another Swamp Thing movie, you got to take some of that Alan Moore inspiration and make something really cool. But I remember it being really frightening as a kid. Like there's a part where he gets his arm cut off and he's like in a jail cell and the girl's being chased through the swamp and like he reaches up and touches the light and he gets a little twig. It was kind of like the Baby Groot thing, and then like he regrows his arm and breaks out of there. It was pretty cool. But special effects wise, he looks like he's wearing a green garbage bag.
It was the 80s.
Yeah, it was the 80s. It was actually, it was 82 actually. Number 9, The Dark Knight Rises. I'm such a huge fan of the first two that I was really let down by the third one because I thought what Nolan does so well is verisimilitude, which is just reality of the world. And, you know, I love the Nightfall storyline a lot, but when you read the Nightfall storyline, after the bat was broken, there was a lot of time before he came back. So for him to come back within the same movie and not a lot happens, I hated that time when he was in the prison. I hated how they described that prison as being the worst place in the world. Meanwhile, he's got like a flat screen TV and there's a bunch of guys cheering for him every time he tries to climb out of the hole. Like, I thought that was really lame. And I also thought that by having Gotham cut off from the world, it was too big. And I didn't buy it because I believe, like, no, the world would not just leave Gotham alone for 3 months and, like, I didn't believe that the cops were underground for 3 months. Like, it just took a lot of liberties that I had a problem with.
A lot of problems there, for sure.
Lots of problems. And I just didn't get it because the first two, I think, are freaking masterpieces. Number 8, Batman Returns. You know, good fun. I love, you know, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is pretty awesome. Christopher Walken's a lot of fun. Danny DeVito. More in that, you know, Tim Burton world. It doesn't like hold up quite as much, but it's fun and it's good. And I also really like Michael Keaton as Batman. Number 7 is Watchmen for me. Yes. What, is that an O because you hate it?
He hated it.
It is the second worst film I have ever seen, Mr. Adam.
Not a very good film. Not a very good film.
Strong opinions about Watchmen.
All right. He liked it. He has his opinion.
All right. Look,
visually,
I personally thought, like, look, it's one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. I don't think that if you never read The Watchmen that you would fall in love with the movie. But I thought it did a great job of giving like great visuals to some of those parts of the story, especially if you read it with the Black Freighter included in it, then it's really, really even more cool because that's such a cool part of the graphic novel. And again, what I mentioned before, I feel like Zack Snyder's directing is going to be really great for Batman action. That's the thing I'm most excited to see, like how those Batman fights are done, because I thought some of the hand-to-hand combat was lacking in some of the Nolan films. Mm-hmm. I know that they had a real choice for his martial arts style, but I want to see a little bit more flamboyant action with Batman. Mm-hmm. My opinion.
Yeah.
Number 6. I kind of was going back and forth with 6 and 5. I'm going to go Man of Steel here. Again, I think that this movie is the best-looking Superman that we've ever seen on screen. I think the weight of him flying, the costume, the actor playing Superman is really great. I do think some of the action sequence went on really long, and they started to feel like video game sequences after a while, and they weren't checking back in with other human elements of the story. I also agree a lot of the humor fell flat. But Henry Cavill was great as Superman, Kal-El. I thought the stuff on Krypton was really cool. Just the look of Krypton was ridiculously cool. And this is a movie that I really didn't like when I saw, and each time it's on, I like it more. Like, when it's on cable. What's that?
I was gonna say, like Batman Begins.
Yeah, totally. Because I watch it and I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool, and it looks, just visually, it looks really awesome. Like, a lot of it, like, seeing him hovering there in the sky, and, you know, there's some real cool parts to it. Then 5 would be Superman 2. Always was a big fan of this. So, like, when you get into the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, like, that's the stuff that I really grew up with. Those were the only superhero movies I had. So I'm going to have a lot more of a connection to them than some of the younger guys that just kind of are looking back on those. I think it's just a different connection. But I think that fight in Metropolis holds up to today.
Yeah.
You know, when the city's getting wrecked, even though it feels a lot more like New York, and then, like, he takes the fight to the Fortress of Solitude, and they're all like, Superman, where are you going? He's a coward. He's a coward. Or what about, like, when they're wrecking the city before Superman even shows up? Like,
one thing I did not like was the cellophane S, the S that he pulls out of his chest. Oh my god!
Yeah.
As a kid, I thought that stuff was cool, and as an adult, I'm like, why do they give him all these stupid extra powers? Like, he's Superman. He doesn't need laser beams and this S. Like, as a kid, I thought that was just awesome. But then rewatching it, I'm like, why does he need to do all that? He's already Superman.
Agreed, for sure.
Which brings us to Superman the original movie. The other kid before that was like, he found the first part of that movie really boring. I love the first part of that movie. That's my the first hour is my favorite part. Like, my favorite part of that first Superman is, like, straight through his first, you know, encounters as Superman, when he's, like, saving people. I love when he's a kid. I love the scenes with his dad. I think, you know, like, when he comes home and his dad, like, is getting on him for showing off. That doesn't bring you to tears, man. You know?
Running past the train. That was a good one.
He's running past the train.
Yeah.
When, like, because he likes the girl, he likes Lana, and then, like, he has to clean up all the equipment because he can't play, and then he kicks the football like, into outer space. And he just, because it was so humanizing, because they showed him as a real teenager with real emotions who wanted to show off. And rather than, like, just show this guy with great morals, that scene alone showed you how he got those morals to be Superman, the kind of family he grew up with. And it was so heartbreaking when his father dies of a heart attack, which is my biggest problem with Man of Steel, which I thought was so stupid.
I hated that.
Oh my god.
That was probably my biggest problem with Man of Steel, was how Kevin Costner's dad died. Kevin Costner was fine in the role. That was just stupid. Like, because and it wasn't for a dog, A. It's not even a human he saved. And Superman could run there and back really fast. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, so bad.
He could have saved him and nobody would have seen him.
Nobody would have seen it. I agree. If you want to kill Jonathan Kent, fine, but come up with a better way. It was
heart attack, it's fine. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, so that was a huge thing, man, because that's a big part of it. Okay, number 3, 1989 Batman. Obviously, the most hyped up movie before it came out ever. And I was a huge Batman fan. This movie came out at the perfect time for me. I was like around like 12, 13 years old, and I was saying to someone today, like, oh, I think I even said on like the Schmoville talkback I was doing, like, I remember driving around with the cassette tape when I could drive, with the Danny Elfman soundtrack, just feeling so badass. That theme, that Batman theme, is so great, man. I love that movie
amazing.
so much.
Oh.
And then again, that movie's got some slow spots that make it not hold up today, but it's got a lot of great stuff too. And Michael Keaton is great. If you haven't heard Michael Keaton on Mark Maron's podcast on WTF, it's worth checking out just for the part where he talks about Batman. You know, and why he jumped ship. You know, like, he really jumped ship because he was going to do the third one. He would have made a shit ton of money for the third one.
He didn't like the script.
He didn't like, the direction Schumacher was going. It was totally that. He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, horrible.
And number 2 and 1. Number 2 is Batman Begins. I don't know why some people say they don't like this movie a lot. Again, I love all that stuff before he's Batman so much. Like, I get off on seeing him climbing the mountain, training with those ninjas, learning how to become Batman, fighting with Liam Neeson on the ice. I love the fact that after he's already gone away, they say, like, all right, you can engage 10 people. So it already puts him on a level where, you know, there's not a lot of guys who can engage 10 people. But then he's like, we can teach you how to engage 100. You know, and like, that's all right. It did such a great job of showing how a guy could become Batman. And yeah, Katie Holmes is kind of weak in it, but there's so much good stuff in that movie. And there's like the scene when he's got the bats and the Sonics, and it's just like year one. I mean, there's some great fucking shots in that movie. The Batman voice is not great, but it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers a lot of other people. I think it's become like
yeah.
I like the voice of Batman.
I kind of like the voice.
Yeah,
I like the Batman voice. It's better than the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises voice. I hate it. I understand it.
Yeah, I guess it gets worse as he goes on, right? It gets more crazy.
I heard some people say this. I don't know if it's true that they use the machine for the voice in the later movies. Is that true?
No.
I don't know that. I haven't heard that.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
Anyway. Okay, so then obviously the number 1 is The Dark Knight. Just an epic.
Yes.
An epic in every sense in the world, you know. Again, like, part of the thing I didn't like about Dark Knight Rises is, like, it takes all these leaps and little scenes like in The Dark Knight when he has to go to China to extract that guy, right? So he can testify. So the details they give it are that Bruce Wayne hires the ballet to go away on a yacht with him so he can be out of the country, so he can get off a boat. Like, that's the kind of details that I freaking loved. You know what I mean? And like, and it also have him doing that whole skyhook thing. Like, it was epic. And the fact that the Joker was so amazing, like, to make a comic book character based on a clown that could be so silly and make it genuinely scary. Like, the Jack Nicholson Joker was cool. It wasn't scary. Like, the Heath Ledger Joker was frightening. Like, when he's, like, driving around and just sticking his head out the window. What is that? What's going on? You know, like,
The magic trick scene made me jump.
The magic trick scene. The scene where the cop, he's interrogating the cop, and he's like, I'm a 20-year man. Like, that, I just love that cop, too. It was like, there was so much.
You know what I think is the hardest scene to watch in that movie?
What's that?
The Joker, when he has that Batman, like, thing on the Batman group, and he's, like, putting him on, like, TV. He's filming him.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it's really
it was
scary.
It was messed
That
up.
was a creepy scene right there, man.
Yeah,
I guess the only weakest part is kind of like
Two-Face.
the prisoners on the boat at the end, kind of like deciding who to make blow up, kind of thing.
I actually like that.
It's a little cheesy. You know what? I kind of liked it too at the time, but if I have to nitpick, I love Two-Face in it. I love the effects on Two-Face. I love Eckhart as Two-Face. I heard when I chimed in, I heard someone talking about the hospital scene when he's wearing like the nurse's outfit and everything. Like, there's just so much shit.
Yeah, that was
I
great.
wonder if it's just like he was out of ideas. Like Dark Knight Rises, like I don't know. It had such a high bar because of those first two films.
Yeah.
I was upset it
Well,
didn't
what
stick.
did you think of them killing Two-Face off, though?
I didn't mind that as much because I think I also knew that I knew that the Nolan universe wasn't going to be the shared universe, and I think he wanted to tell a complete story, and to do that, I don't think he wanted to be hampered by having to leave things open and all this other stuff. So it didn't really bother me, and I kind of liked the whole idea how Batman ended as a villain. It made me want to be seeing more. I thought it was cool, or at least a villain in Gotham's eyes, or whatever they did. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why are we chasing him? Because he's the hero, but not the hero we need right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that they killed Two-Face, because I would have liked to see more of Two-Face, because they didn't really do enough with him.
He was really good, but I knew that they weren't going to use Two-Face in the next movie, and he wasn't going to be doing more than 3.
No, I thought he would have been in the next movie, actually.
You think so?
I thought if they didn't kill him, I thought he was going to be in... Before I saw that they killed him, I thought he was going to be in the next movie.
Yeah, but it's Nolan making the films, and he knows if we need to keep this character or not. He wants to be able to... He wanted that character to be able to die redeemed. Because
he was a big impact in Rises, the Harvey Dent act.
Yeah. Well, because I remember hearing a lot of people ask Christopher Nolan if he died, and it's basically said in the script of Dark Knight that Harvey Dent is dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He died.
I didn't like in Dark Knight Rises though that there was no mention of the Joker.
Yeah, look, a lot in Dark Knight Rises. I don't like how you tried to use the the retired Batman thing in the Dark Knight is one of the greatest things in all of comics, because the fact that he's coming out of retirement and he's just this big hulking thing and he has to relearn how to do it, I love that, and I don't think that was as earned. It's still freaking Christian Bale. I just didn't buy it, and it was a cool device that I thought was wasted in the Dark Knight Rises.
Another thing I didn't like was how did he get back to Gotham so fast?
Exactly.
He's Bruce Wayne.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure. I have to go. I'm getting texted from my dinner date here. I have to make out of here. Leave.
All right, well,
like the Flash.
Really appreciate you joining, and you have a good night with your date.
Thanks for
dinner date.
joining.
Feel free to come back whenever you want.
I'll talk to you guys in the future, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Right. And Adam, I'll message you on Facebook. Okay. That was cool.
Okay, well that was awesome. Lot of fun talking to Adam. I think we're gonna finish up. I think me and Paul are gonna give our list, and then we'll get out of here, guys. All right?
Okay.
All right, Paul. So why don't you go ahead with your list?
All right, so let's start off. I got my top 10 best DC films. Number 10, Batman 1966. I know it's campy. I know it's over the top. I don't care. This movie is fun. I love Adam West. I love the Joker. I love Penguin. I love the villains in this film. It is just a blast to watch.
Backshark repellent.
Absolutely.
Number 9, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. This is a great show and a great movie. I love especially the final fight scene between the Terry and the Joker. That was just amazing to watch. It was brutal. It was so much fun. I would love to see a live-action adaptation of Batman Beyond one day. That would be awesome. All right, number 8, the original 78 Superman. It's an iconic classic. Chris Reeve. He's my Superman. He always will be. Number 7, Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. This unbelievable movie, great storyline. Number 6, The Dark Knight.
Number 6.
What? Number 6 is The Dark Knight, yes. Do I need to say more? Number 5 is Superman 2. awesome movie. Number 4 is Justice League Doom, with a wonderful storyline, great character development. Number 3, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Unbelievable story, brutal as all hell, great action sequences. Number 2 is Batman 89. I mean, it's Batman 89, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, need I say more. And then number 1, Batman Under the Red Hood. Unbelievable movie. Best Batman movie I've ever seen. Best DC film I've ever seen.
Wait, do you want to go over your worst real quick?
Yeah, let me share with you my 5 worst films. And number 5...
Wait, I didn't hear your number 1. What was your number 1?
was Batman Under the Red Hood.
Okay.
Right, so number 5, All-Star Superman. I did not like the animation. The story was kind of lame. Number 4, Superman Returns. Do I have to say more than that? Number 3, Batman and Robin. We all know why that film sucks. Number 2, Superman 4. Even worse than Batman and Robin. And then number 1, oh god, the second worst movie I've ever seen, Watchmen. I hated this movie. Terrible storyline, god-awful characters, lame action sequences, and the twist at the end pissed me off so much I nearly broke the TV.
That one, man. I'm with you. Oh, shit.
What about Catwoman?
What about Steel?
I've never seen the 2004 film in its entirety. That's why it's not on my list.
You're a good man. You're a good man, Paul.
What about Green Lantern?
Yeah.
What about Superman 3?
Yeah. All right. So
Just missed it.
All right. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give my list here of my top 10 best from DC. Number 10 is Justice League Doom. It's a great animation film. If you guys haven't seen it, check that one out for sure. Number 9 is Batman Year One, another animation film. Number 8 is the original Superman. Not so much. I mean, I like it. It's fine, but because of the legacy and what it did for our superhero films going forward. Number 7 is Batman Begins. Every time that I watch this movie, it gets better and better and better. Number 6 is Man of Steel. I loved it. I really enjoy it. I think the action's great. Number 5 is Superman 2, the Donner cut. I'm really not a fan of the Lester cut, but the Donner cut is fantastic. Number 4 is the Dark Knight Returns, the 2-part animated movie that got smashed into one. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. It's amazing. Number 2 is Batman Under the Red Hood. Like I said, this had one of the best stories that I've ever watched in any superhero movie. It's epic and it's amazing. And number 1 is the 89 Batman. I love that film. I watched it when I was young. I grew up with it, and it means the world to me because it made me love Batman for why I love Batman so much. So, and then I have my 5 worst. Number 5 is Batman and Robin. We all know it's bad, so don't really get into
Arnold.
Number 4 is Green Lantern. I hated this movie, as I said before. I hated the script. I hated the CGI was terrible. Ryan Reynolds was miscast, and the direction of the movie was god awful. So.
Do you think he was good though?
Is Superman 4? This had like $100 budget. It was so awful. I mean, Nuclear Man. Do I really need to say more than that?
Nope.
So, number 2 is Supergirl.
Didn't see it.
Supergirl was had the worst script probably ever made because they thought like, oh, what would a girl do in this instant? Let's do that. You know, the movie had good actors, had a good premise, but it was just freaking awful. And number 1, the creme de la creme, you guys. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and that is Catwoman. Oh my God, this movie was so awful, so terrible. Not even like worth anyone's time to ever see this. Halle Berry, what are you doing? And then she owned it though. She's like, yeah, I was in this crappy movie. It's like, Oh, I hate that movie. It's awful. I mean,
Yeah, she accepted the award at the Razzies.
yeah, it was so bad. It's like, what are you doing? But you know what? If she's proud of it, then she's proud of it. So whatever. But yeah, so that's my list. That's it, I think. I mean, and does anyone have anything else to add? Ollie?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to point out that I'm going to be taking next week off. I will not be in next week's episode. Next Monday's my birthday, and I'll be taking that day off, so just giving you a heads up on that. I will not be here for next Monday's show.
We'll miss you.
I'll be back in 2 weeks, don't worry.
We'll miss you, brother. Anyway, so, yeah, guys. First of all, I want to thank everyone that was on here with us. I want to thank Jason and Jack and Chris and Paulie. And I want to thank Max. And I want to thank John, who was also on here. And I also want to give a huge thank you to Adam Gertler of DC Movie News for DC fans for coming in and just hanging out with us, answering questions, giving a list, and just coming on here with us and talking movies with us. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank everyone for being here, and I want to thank everyone for watching. So everyone.
Do you know what next week's is? What was that? You know what's next week's topic?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Jack. Well, I guess I got to figure out because Paul's not going to be here, so I had to figure out what it's going to be. So, in the group chat, Jack, just I'm going to put it out there if anyone has any ideas. So if you have any ideas, just put them there, you know. So everyone, thank you for watching and have a good night.
Peace.